the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag. Hey there, Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns. Just want to comment and say BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for football, baseball, boxing, golf, and much more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Tight End. It's the defending champion episode, the reigning champ episode, the back-to-back episode, and I'm here with our guy, Jason Dunn, JD. He's got a little stogie. Looks like Red Auerbach, JD.
What's going on, Marcus? How's it going, man? Oh, my goodness. Good to be on top, baby. It's good. Hold on. Let me get my mic over here. It's good to be on top, baby. It's good to be on top. Feels good. Feels great. How you doing? How's it going?
Feel great. I feel like I have a good pep in my step today. I don't know what it was. I just feel like, still justified by all it takes this year. Yeah, there were some times we may have felt, at least I felt a little scared, but, we still hung in there. We got called homers by so many different other team fan bases commenting on our videos. But you know what? We still stuck with it. And look at us, again, back-to-back at 3 in, 4 years or 5 years? I mean, right. Unreal.
Unreal. Look, they could call us homers. They could call us homebodies. I don't care what you call us, all right? Just make sure you put world champions in front of it, okay? NFL champions. How about that? A Super Bowl 58 came out there and represented. So they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad all they want. They can be mad all they want to. That's right. We're going to wear the crown, baby. We got the crown. That's what it is, Marcus. They mad at that. They mad. Hey, look. To all our subjects out here, okay, you continue to understand that you're bound down to the Kings right here.
I'm jealous of all the props you got over there today. I'm genuinely jealous, right? And you got the stogies, you got the crown.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, look, I just this right here. Actually, I bought it because it was going to be for who got the score and stuff right last night.
Oh,
but you know what? I happened to see this laying around. I'm like, hey, man, this would be perfect. It's very fitting. Very fitting. Okay.
You were really close, by the way. 27-21. I mean, the final score was 47 points. You got one more point over it. So pretty close with that whole thing. I don't know. Did anybody in your household, I know you had 100 people over there last night. Anybody have 25-22? It's a very, very weird numbers for a football game.
Yeah. I think everybody overshot it by a lot. Everybody was up there in the 30s and 28. I was just like, when it first started, I'm like, well, everybody was wrong. Everybody was thinking it's going to be 30-something to, high 20, 27, 28. Not at all. Not at all. But that is just a testament to our very capable and very daunting and respectable, put some respect on the name, our defense. Followed by our top dog, defensive coordinator, putting everything together, Steve Spagnuolo, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. How about that? Okay, for Steve. Brilliant game call by Spags. And then we can just continue with everybody else that added on into it. Chris Jones, Sneed, McDuffie, Kalafkas, Bolton, Gay, shoot, Tranquil, Chanel, Reed, Connor, Edwards, you name them. These guys are doing Pernell, Warrington, Dannon. All these guys came in.
Even King Felix got in there, got a little TFL.
Yes, he did. Got him in the backfield. I was like, oh, that's a beautiful play. And that's what I was talking about, Marcus. Like, this, without a doubt, was an absolute team win. It was a team win. This is like what we needed. For a job such as this, we needed that performance from everybody. Everybody to step up. And so they did. In one way or another, everybody stepped up. Okay? So that was very important. Very important, man. Got the win, man. Golly. Like Kansas City Chiefs, man. Congratulations to these jokers, man. They the naysayers, all they did the entire year. Oh, they're not gonna make it, they're not gonna do it. Well, somebody, I talked to somebody this morning and say, man, they were shaky all year. They were shaky. I said, you know what, I'm gonna say that in my program. That the Chiefs was shaky and everybody else that was believing in them was shaky too. So
shaky, I would say offensively we were shaky. Defensively, this is one thing that we kind of talked about on the postgame show last night was we knew what we had with our defense all year long. The mainstream media they didn't talk about it. So people who didn't watch the Chiefs just naturally thought, oh, the Chiefs, it's the same kind of defense you guys have had the last few years, but
yeah,
not at all. So shaky, yeah, one side of the ball shaky, but it was one side of the ball that still had the stability of having Mahomes, but the other side of the ball was not shaky. And again, last night, I mean, and also I want to give you props because I already gave you props last night. Yeah, I feel like I'm giving you props every episode now, but I gave you props last night for never giving up on MVS or Hardman. And then I also want to give you props again because what was JD's magic number for the whole season for our offense? That was 24 points.
24 points.
And how much did we score last night? 25.
25. What we needed. That's what we needed. I told you that as long as we keep it there, 24, we score that, we are winning the ball game. That was it. And sometimes it's good to have, like, something that you're shooting for and staying with it. Like, okay, we do this. Defense knows, offense knows, like, okay, here's the number. This is the number. We did this. This is what we're gonna stay on it. We're gonna know, we're gonna work around it, how we get to this number. As long as we get there, we're gonna win it. Okay. So
yep, we got a comment here. We got a bunch of people in the chat already, about 30 people in the chat. Did it, fellas. I enjoy watching you guys this season. Got Jay Gonzo, go Chiefs, baby, Super Bowl champs. Hell yeah, baby. Kathy Welsh, yeah, thank you, Marcus and Jason. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you, Kathy. We see you on here all the time. Appreciate your support. Definitely. Appreciate it.
Appreciate all you guys. And, of course, we're going to be, I mean, like we said, Chief Concerns is an all-year-round podcast and channel. We're going to kind of change up the Monday, and JD now will kind of fine-tune it. But obviously, we have we're a month out till free agency. So I was thinking on our Monday grading show, till we get to the I guess free agency was a month away from tomorrow, which is JD. Isn't that crazy? The season ended yesterday, and then tomorrow was the 1 month from free agency beginning, which is just so wild. Wow. But I was thinking as we kind of get from this point on until free agency start, JD and I, what we could do is we can kind of go back in and grade the position groups that we have on the current squad, and also factoring in who's going to be gone and how we can improve each position group till we get to free agency. And that's what we could do with our Monday grading show, is kind of looking at our team and what things we should address as we get to free agency. And then from then, we'll see if we can retool our Monday show. But, obviously a lot of options in the offseason.
Yeah, man, we got plenty. We got plenty to talk about.
Yes, we do.
There's gonna be some moves, some absolutely still Chiefs concerns that we have going into the offseason about what it is that we need to shore up. Maybe get stronger at, things we need to address immediately, and who we think is going to, be coming back, who's going to be coming back for us. And so that is going to be one of those things and thought processes as far as like with the direction we're going. Like I said this last night, Marcus, without a doubt, like Dion had said about them, hey, this was your chance to try to get on to beat us. This is it. This is our down year, supposedly. Okay? This is the when everybody was trying to jump on top of us, this is where you're supposed to go ahead and take us on out. And you couldn't do it. We weren't going to let you. Those guys in the room was not going to let you. What's going to happen? And they had no quit in them. They persevered through all of it, through all the adversity, persevered through all the negative and criticism. Hey, and they came out on top. I tell you what, man, I'm so happy for the organization, for those guys, and for the city, and all the Chiefs fans out there too. Yeah. So happy for you all, man. Y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve that win last night. Y'all do. Absolutely. So
it's funny you say that. So Warren Sharp, he's like one of the analytics guys on Twitter. He had a really interesting tweet, kind of what you said, kind of what people have been saying all year, that this is the most vulnerable the Chiefs have been, and this is a chance for everybody. So he had a really interesting tweet, which I was a fan of it because he's been one of these guys who's been kind of hating on us, kind of an article a few weeks back, kind of like inciting kind of conspiracy nonsense. So it was interesting. He said this, but he put the scariest part about this Super Bowl. This was supposed to be the year to knock off the Chiefs. Mahomes was the most expensive cap hit in the NFL at $37 million. His O-line was weakened. His wide receiver one was a rookie. They were forced to play 6 straight games at a rest disadvantage weeks 12 to 17, the only time a team had to do that in NFL history. They had to play in Germany. They did not get a first-round bye. They had to play on the road in the divisional round as an underdog. They had to play on the road in the conference championship round as an underdog. They were underdogs in the Super Bowl, and they were losing by double digits. It was the toughest path to a Super Bowl based on strength of opponent faced ever, and they still won the Super Bowl.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That without a doubt, he ran it down exactly how it all worked out. I mean, and it's true. Every bit of it is true. Jason, I give you a D on the season, Marcus. I give you a B-. Go Chiefs, baby. Let's. I hear you. D for Dunn. I'll take it. D for Dunn. I'm good with that.
Hey, D's not an F. So hey, that's a victory right there.
Good, man. We good. We good with the D. We don't get better. D for none. That's what the D's for. I got you.
Exactly.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
John Clifford, JD called it. He had the confidence. Yes, he did. Never wavered, JD. You never wavered, baby.
Never. 10 toes down, baby. That's what it is. That's I think K. Tony is gone. Open spot for someone else. Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
Listen, I'll speak on this real quick. For the amount of things that went on the past few weeks, Cadarius Tony, I think with his history of just being hurt, I think they're going to be making moves. Obviously, during the offseason, he may be one of the casualties because of trying to get some new pieces in. It's unfortunate when guys get hurt, things happen, but it's a business. It's a business. But he was able to get 2 Super Bowl rings while he was here.
It's true.
So, you know what I mean? So however that plays out these next few years for him, fine. Hey, who knows? The Chiefs may keep him around. I have no idea. I don't think anybody ever got to the real bottom of all the what was on Instagram, what was being said and all that. I mean, with these things happening with AI and all of that, you never know. But I just go ahead.
I think he had so his whole thing was trying to say that it was out of context, but then during the Super Bowl media interviews, I think it was Michael Robinson that interviewed him about it, and he was he kind of made something that seemed like he was pissed off about not playing or something. So it seemed like, wait, was your thing out of context, or were you pissed off about not being available or whatnot? So I don't know. And it seemed like the whole thing was so fishy, JD, where Andy, when they asked him, he's like, oh, yeah, I heard about it, but I haven't seen it, but I'm not really worried about it. Don't think about it. And then they take him off the injury report, and then what happens? Get to the game time, he's a healthy scratch. So it seems like they did it I don't know if they did it maliciously or purposely, but it's like, hey, we're not putting you on the injury report, and you're not playing. How about that? I don't know.
No, well, so here, okay, real quick, because I know we don't want to spend our time on this. He could have been telling the guy, the reporter, I don't even know when it was done, when it was aired, all of this, but he might have at that moment already knew he was coming off, the injury report, right? So he was sitting there saying, yeah, my hip ain't hurt. and he maybe just taking a shot at everybody who's doubting him or whatever. That's how when I heard it, I'm like, okay, it didn't sound bad to me. It didn't look like he was taking a shot at the organization at all. It just sounded like he was pissed off because they asked him the question. Everybody's doubting him about, are you any good? Can you go? Can you play? He just, he's, spazzing out with whatever he said. So, hey, that's whatever. The thing is, none of it affected us. Regardless, guys came in and stepped up like as they should. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. But I think everybody just, they put, they supported him too. He's part of the team. He came in, he did some things. Kyle, what's up, Chiefs Concerns? Back to back, boys. No doubt, Cal.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Get it, baby. They did it. Oh, we out there. Back to back. Back to back. I love it.
And what's also funny too is like, I know people said, and that's the thing, a lot of people who are casuals who don't really know football, or like maybe casual Chiefs fans, casual NFL fans, they just know that Tony had the dropsies and that's it, right? But like, it wasn't like we had anything against him. We're like, because look, Hardman's a great example, JD. Hardman had a bigger blunder than Tony ever had because his blunder was in the playoffs, at the 1 yard line of the Bills game. Okay, Tony never even did anything in the playoffs. Never did anything. His blunder was throwing the ball up or dropping the pass up in the Patriots game, and that was pretty much it. I mean, he dropped a bunch of stuff, but it was never hindered us in the playoffs in the big games. What happens? Hardman, he fumbles the 1 yard in the Buffalo Bills game, then he comes around making huge plays in the Super Bowl. So obviously, we don't go away from guys. There's obviously maybe more to it than what meets the eye, but we don't go away from guys. We give guys chances, as we see with MVS and Hardman, two of the guys who stepped up in the Super Bowl. So I don't know. It very weird. Whatever's going on between the two sides, I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point, but just odd stuff. So my opinion, I don't see him on the team next year. Whether it's stuff behind the scenes or him not being available or whatever the issues are, I just don't see him. I feel like Vici's going to do what he did. We talked about this before. He's going to do what he did with the O-line after the Super Bowl loss against Tampa, and that's totally overcorrect the wide receiver room. So there may be guys in that wide receiver room who are not there next year because we're overcorrecting the problem for whatever reason. So
I can see that. I don't think it go crazy, but you do have to have guys for the future, right? We know we got Rashid Rice for sure. Okay, he's one of those guys like, okay, you build around that. Sky Moore is going to filter in, into the offense, and then it's everybody else after that point, right? So you probably draft a wide receiver, get a guy in here who's very capable, who can stretch the defense, do a lot of different things, with what our offense requires of him, and got good hands, go up and catch the football. And so those are the things you need. Do you go and put a whole lot of money into like a big time wide receiver? I don't think so. I don't think you do that in free agency. I think you get a guy who was a good, maybe a number one, a guy that is a complimentary one or two, you know what I mean? Like a high guy who, like, when you go and look for him, he's going to have to at least average around 70, 80 balls a year, okay? Or 90. That's the guy you got to go get.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the big names everyone's going to are T. Higgins by Mike Evans, and we'll end this topic soon. But Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., Hollywood Brown is the other guy out there. And for me, so Rashid Rice has shown that he can be the guy. So you need complementary pieces around that, right? We need a little slot guy who would be a more possession guy, like what's his name? Like Renfro from the Raiders. I don't know what's going on with that. They barely used him at the end of the season. He can be a guy that could be available. But then you have a guy like Hollywood Brown who can take the top off defenses and is shown to be kind of a 3-level guy. Obviously, he's not going to be your 90 catch guy in the middle of the field to be in rub routes with Kelsey, but he could be a guy who can take off the top of the defense. And I remember when he came out in that draft a few years back, we were apparently interested in him. So, I mean, and he has shown flashes. He's can't stay healthy.
No, he's a good receiver. I mean, he's a guy that, stay healthy. He's a guy that you could definitely go get, but not to go break the bank on.
No.
So, that's the thing about it. Now, when you come here for the Chiefs, you come here to win a championship, right? We talked last night. All right. You're coming here to win. All right. If you come over here, try to break the bank and, try to bend somebody over backwards, that ain't going to happen. You go on to kick down the road, going down the street.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I mean, you're sacrificing a little bit to come here, especially if all the reports are we're trying to keep Jones and Snead and trying to keep this core group together for this three-peat run. You're going to have people who are coming in, the people on the outside want to be a part of this. You're going to have to make some concessions here if you want to be part of this well-oiled machine.
Team-friendly deal. You better think about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to be a part of this? Okay. Well, it's going to cost you. All right.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go into we'll try to trickle in your guys' comments in here as we go through a great show like we normally do. So JD's going to break down it's our last great show of the season. So JD's going to break down what he saw in yesterday's Super Bowl victory over the 49ers from each position group. And I know JD's got a lot of thoughts on what happened yesterday. Good and bad nuggets. Yeah, we won the game, but I mean, of course, there's always things, no game's ever perfect, JD.
No, yeah. It's never perfect, but so I'll start out with this. Very first of the game, and just kind of going through it. I watched this a couple of times. I kept going back. But I do believe their defense was playing a lot faster than the offense was. They were on top of it. We're talking about guys flying around. I mean, they showed that they wanted it, and they were coming in. I'm going to tell you what hurt them really bad. Greenlaw went out. Oh, my gosh. My brother didn't get to see the Super Bowl. He had to work, and he was coming out. The linebacker Greenlaw went out. I said, that helped us a whole lot. Greenlaw was smacking folks from the very start, hitting jokers. I mean, he was the guy for him. I mean, he was all over the field making plays. I was like, God, Greenlaw he just looked like a man obsessed. And then, when they showed him going in, I was like, oh, wow. Man, daggone. He said Achilles too?
Yeah, and they say he might be out for pretty much a good part of next season too. So they say they're going to have to consider that when they make their offseason moves this year.
Man, I feel bad for it.
Terrible way, man. Just going back on the field. Oh,
man. But that joker, man, he was a thorn in our side. He was giving us trouble. But with that, we started to kind of adjust a little bit. Guys started to wake up somewhat. The things you just need some good things to happen. We started getting that. We started getting some good fortune. The things that we're not as accustomed to is the turnovers, right? We didn't want to get back into the turnover game. And I said this, to beat a team like San Fran, you got to play almost mistake-free football. That's what you have to do. Because they started trying to use that run game on us, just starting to try to run down our throats and get 6-7 yards to carry with McCaffrey. And then it was like, okay, this is not the game we want to be in. We don't want to be in that game where they just constantly just wearing us down. I think I heard Romo say something like, oh, they're tired. I'm like, man, everybody's tired.
Yeah.
Everybody's tired, Romo. What are you talking about? But my brother asked me, he said, man, I know you was worried. Was you ever worried? I said, nah, I wasn't worried. I said, I wasn't even worried. One of my boys, shout out to my boy, Murray Garvin, one of my best friends came through. And he was the one that was telling me, hey, man, yeah, they're going to have a talk with that team. You're going to get them, regroup them. JD, you got to get them regroup. And so we did. That's what we did. We went right into it, had a conversation. Andy and them got all that together. But they did. They regrouped, okay? They had to remind themselves who they were and what they were playing for. Sometimes it takes that. You got to take stake in the game at different parts, different points. And they did that. But they never – you never seen them, get, out of sorts. You never seen them like really doubting themselves. You never seen that. And the thing was, because of everything they went through the entire year, had prepared them for this spot. It prepared them for it. They've been down before, and this wasn't nothing new. They knew the defense was going to be able to step up and stop them when they needed to, And it was nothing new. They just know they had to get something going on offense. And so they did. They did. So I'm gonna start right here on the offensive side of the ball. Right. So we'll start with my wide receivers. All right. Wide receivers came out. And I said that teams are going to try to either make sure Travis Kelce doesn't beat you or Rashid Rice doesn't beat you. That's the two. You stop those two and Pacheco, then you're going to have a good game. And that means everybody else around them had to have a big game. Everybody else around them have to, step up and make plays. And they did it. And we seen MVS. We seen Justin Watson catch balls. And the times that we needed to see him. We see McCole Hardman come in and step up and catch balls. That to me was the most important part for us to be successful. Was everybody else around the three that we had, our three amigos, how everybody else around them was going to play. That was the key to this victory. It was. And so with our wide receivers, man, MVS, like you said, we talked about it. People criticized him all year. And, he didn't have a good, first part of the season. He didn't. We can be honest about that, right? There was some definitely concerns about, where his head was at, with the time he was putting in. How was it getting better? How come he was kind of regressing in a sense, as opposed to not getting better like he was last year? You would think a guy would get better, but it seemed like he regressed. Seemed like he was very unsure of himself. And I said this, Marcus, I said, when Pat goes in and he tells you, I believe in you, that means the world to a guy like MVS. When Andy Reid doesn't abandon you and put you on the bench like everybody was hollering about, put him on the bench or get rid of him, trade him and whatnot, hey, those things, Andy didn't go away from that. Matt Nagy, those things like, hey, we still don't throw to this guy. We still don't throw to him. That was very important. That was very important. When Connor Embry decided, hey, look, MVS, you know what? Until you get your hands back and get your mind right, we can still put you in to block on the run play because you're still a capable guy. You're a professional for a reason. We still have you in here. You was a guy that we sought after. There's a reason we did that. And he showed up in the game like he should have. So hats off to MVS, man, for just sticking with it all. Sticking with it all. And people I know, man, they was on him. They was on him all year. And shoot, he heard from everywhere. Heck, he probably had family members like, man, why don't you just go ahead and, they need to bench you. Right?
I mean, the guy's nickname for a little bit was from by a lot of different content creators was MV Ass. I mean, the guy. As insulting as that is, I mean, that's like worse. I mean, that's like one of the worst things you can have is a nickname that where people are actually in your own nickname or mocking it with not a nice term there. But I mean, it got really low for him in this year, and the fact that he did keep his confidence high, he was still getting reps. That was the thing. You even when you call it out, you're like, yeah. Like, yes, he may not be catching the ball and may not be looking confident running his routes, but he's one of the best blockers we have as far as on the outside. And the way our offense was trending towards the second half of the season, more of a ground and pound kind of play action style, we needed him out there. And I mean, he served his purpose during the end of the regular season, and then that kept him to get his confidence up.
That's right, and that's what he needed. So you didn't need to regulate him to the bench. What's that gonna do for you? Because you just hurt the overall team. Right? And we brought you in for a reason. We're going to keep you for that. We're going to do it. We're going to trust in you, okay? You'll fix it. You'll get it right. You just go to work. You keep getting better every single day. I don't care what it takes. Sometimes you got to get a player out of his own way. But sometimes it's the same thing when Pat started talking to Pacheco on the sideline because he'll get down on himself. Everybody was coming in there building him up. Hey, man, you okay? All right? Hey, look, get out of there. All right? It's something you don't do a whole lot. We'll get this back. Don't worry about those things, okay? We've seen a lot of different conversations. That was something that I really appreciated is the conversations on the sideline you can see people have it, all right? For whatever reason, different things that was going on they was able to capture. And I think we'll kind of get into some of that was going on the sideline, right? But just on the wide receivers, I give these guys a B plus. Okay, give these guys a B plus. They played an exceptional game. You know what? This might be probably the best game they actually played as a unit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give these guys, because they ain't had one all year, man. I'm gonna give these guys an A. They got an A for me. Shit, I was gonna give them a B plus, man, but you know what? The guys stepped up, and I'm gonna give you the numbers. So we got McCole Auburn 3 catches for 57 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Watson 3 catches for 54 yards. MVS 3 catches, 20 yards for a touchdown. Noah Gray comes in 2 for 22, and Jared McKinnon 2 for 15. Like, that's all we needed to see. Those guys get 9 catches and 2 touchdowns. Marcus, we ain't talking about the big names. We ain't talking about Rashee Rice or Travis Kelce. We talking about the guys are giving up on, right? Mm-hmm. The scrubs and all you put them on the side of the bench. 9 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's what they get. Those guys, they the one that brought the A up. They got the A for me. Okay, all right. Now we know Rashee Rice did his thing. He's always going to do his thing. Anyway, 6 catches, 39 yards. Yeah, he could have probably had a touchdown in regulation. Possibly. I watched that linebacker because I had to look at him. Like, the linebacker he be looking this up. He could be baiting for him to throw that inside route. All right, he could have easily jumped it. Maybe if he saw Pat's eyes fast enough. So. Whatever. It didn't work out. They kind of got on the sideline. They talked about it, jawed about it a little bit, right? And Pat was like, hey, man, look. He called him, hey, he was like, look, straight up. All right? When I call on you, just be ready. Just be there. Be ready. All right? Let's go. Rice was like, okay. He came back at him like, man, I'm just letting you know. All right, let's go then. Let's go. And I love the competition because these guys are just challenging one another. Because they want to win the game. And I see when he came over here to the other quarterback, and I could read his lips. He's like, hey, look, man, when me and Pat are talking, don't come and interrupt us because we're trying to win the game. Don't do that.
I was wondering what he was saying to that guy.
Yeah, he was like, because you see him stopping Rice and Pat talking, And so I think he was trying to like, hey, man, like Rashid, like calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Break it up, yeah.
Yeah, which was fine. I'm glad the quarterback was like, "No, man, look, I'm trying to keep the tension down. I get what y'all trying to do, but also too, that could be counterproductive to what actually y'all want to do. Because y'all start bringing, and it's good to separate y'all, but everybody being on the same page. Because it takes some intervention from other guys. It does. Because it can escalate. Not saying those 2 guys escalated, but at least they weren't jawing at each other because they're both competitive. All right. Hey, Patrick demands excellence. He wants guys to be great. And Rashee Rice wants it too. The thing is, challenge each other, play your position though, and Rashee kind of stepped away from him like, all right, man, let's go. And I love that. I loved about it. But that's what he said to the quarterback. I read it. I said, okay, that's what he's saying. He's like, look, man, don't come in. You know what I'm saying? And intervene when me and Pat are talking about trying to win the game. That's, and I get it.
Because I was wondering what he was saying to that because I knew it was about that situation. I knew that he was saying something regarding that, but I couldn't really read his lips there.
Now that's me as being a lip reader. But I think I could see what he was saying because I wanted to know what the context was as far as what what they was actually going into. All right. So,
do you think because someone in the comments here, which is interesting, HVHY. While on the topic of wideouts, it was the first time I saw PM15 mother F his receiver Rice on the sideline, and that's the thing too. Because all season long, you never really there was times where Rice wouldn't sit in zones or whatever, and there was a few times this year where he wasn't sitting in the zone fast enough or getting his head around fast enough. Mahomes would be visually upset, but would never go to him and explode like that. Obviously, stakes are a little bit higher in the Super Bowl, but also too I think at this point we talked about before You're not a rookie anymore. Once a rookie has a role that Rice has, and once how far we are in the season, you're not seen as that rookie anymore. We're actually expecting something out of you that Mahomes expects out of you to be where you are when you're supposed to be there. The way you always talk about,
right?
And that's kind of what it is. Mahomes, you're no longer rookie Rashee Rice to Mahomes anymore. He expects you to be, where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think what it was, obviously it's just a word to use, but like, hey man, like apparently Pat must have heard him either come and voice his opinion, maybe come off the field and said something to someone, and that's probably what pissed Pat off. Like, look, there's other people that's open several times during the game and I don't get the ball, right? He's taking the choice, low snap for one, he had to pull it up. All right, I know you talked about previous with the low snaps. That was a low snap.
All game long, man.
Hey, man, thank God for baseball, right? So he pulls it up, tries the back throw like he did against the Ravens at Hamilton, right? Which I thought was excellent. I was like, that's exactly how it should be done. Matter of fact, before they run the play, I'm like, they should do the same route with Travis out there, and they did it. They did it. I think this Pat didn't have the time to get his feet set like he wanted to, because he knew he was running out of time. He only had, 10 seconds at that moment, right? So he knew he had to get the ball out. If they had 15 seconds, he probably had a better throw.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, yeah, Rice might have scored. Right, he might have scored on that. So Rice was right, fine. He could be upset, but you move on. You move on. That's the thing about it, because you got to stay focused. And sometimes that's the one snap and clear. That's how it works in the NFL. For players, hey, something good or bad, one snap and clear. It's over, right? We keep moving on. We're trying to win this football game. So when we get into the overtime, which they was going into, I need you present at this time. I don't need you pissed off thinking about the last play that didn't happen with us. I need you present in what's going on right now. Okay. So that's why Pat went to him like, hey, look, like straighten up. I understand you might have been open, but we didn't have that much time. I didn't get to see you. That's all right. Okay. We still got a game to play. I need you right now. You step up, win it. Well, yeah, Rice went at Patrick, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he had to say, Rice had to say something around him, or like, Dad, God, I was open. You hear guys say things like that all the time.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, man, you crying with this? Like, man, look, hey, everybody's open now, every play. You think everybody don't want the football? Right? In those moments, sometimes I'm going to see you, sometimes I'm not. Plenty of times guys open, they throw their hands up. The thing is, what you can't do is you can't let this get too big that you think you're a prima donna, that you're too good, that, you know what I mean, that you're just the man of the ball. That does nothing for you. When you're a team sport, keep it team oriented on everything, right? And that's how I think Pat was just holding him accountable. Like, yo, Rice, like straighten up. So that was it. I know too long on that. But A's for the wide receivers. A's for the wide receivers. All right.
And also, I just want to throw that in before we leave wide receivers. This is the most I've seen a wide receivers catch a ball in a game in a long time for us. We had 4 wide receivers catch a pass. I mean, it got to a point, Jay, even the last few weeks where it was like only sticking like two guys tops, 2 or 3. I'm talking about wide receivers, not tight ends. 2 or 3 wide receivers were maybe touching like one pass. But the fact this game, Watson stepped up, Hardman stepped up, MVS obviously on top of Rice. But yeah, the one thing I will say with MVS, I love his catches. He almost gave me a heart attack on that last catch. He went backwards.
Running backwards. Yeah, like, dude, just go down. Me and my brother was just laughing at that play. Just like laughing. I just had my head on my face like, oh, my God.
He gave me DeMarcus Robinson flashbacks is what he gave me.
First, I thought they was going to give him the momentum, but because he didn't go down, I'm just like, well, he's just, but no. He
made up for the next catch. So he got the yards back.
Yeah. He got about 7-8 yards back on the next catch, which is good. Then Justin Watson, the only 2 things I could think of was the one back behind him. Yeah, he probably could have still caught that one, but still, hey, happens in the course of the game. But for everything that they was able to do, man, I'm gonna give these guys an A, man. They deserve it. End of the season, time for them to step up. They stepped up big for us. McCole Hardman, real quick on him. That deep pass, Pat threw. That's what we was looking for. We've been looking for you to take the top off the defense. Throw the ball up to you. Go get it. And he did that. And Pat trusted it. When he launched that joke, I said, man, who was he throwing to? And that was just a beautiful, beautiful pass, beautiful catch by Hardman. And then the corn dog play at the end. I'm like, it's just.
Yeah, they're calling it Tom and Jerry's, what they're calling it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Andy said it was corn dog with a little bit of ketchup and relish.
Oh, okay. Well, it looked good. That play is very successful. Just going through how they try to. It works against man. It works against zone. It works against anything. It really does. Because you're running, this guy in motion, and so he almost runs into the stack. So once he goes outside, he out-leverages the defense immediately. Let's just say you had a guy that was supposed to play zone, and he picks him up. Well, that's Travis, in that little corner route. All right. So, man, it was something, man. It was a great play by them, and I'm glad Harmon got it. I don't know what was the whole deal with people saying they didn't know what the rules were.
He claims that wasn't a thing. He said that was not true. He said the only thing he didn't know was that he scored the game-winning touchdown because he kind of blacked out that moment. And then Pat came over to him. He was like, "Hey, it's game over. We just won this thing." And
I know he was shocked. I know he scored a touchdown. Like, man, what just happened? Like, because I think everybody was kind of like, "Oh shit!"
I don't think anyone, the whole 49ers team didn't even know the rules, and Jim Nantz didn't know the rules. No one knew what was going on.
I didn't know the rules until I watched the replay, and they actually went through the rules.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, because I was explaining to my daughter, I was like, that's what Buffalo had been, crying about, but they actually changed it. I didn't know.
But the thing I still am not so sure about is because that touchdown happened with 6 seconds left in that overtime. What would have happened if it went 0-0-0? Would we just gotten the ball there to start the second overtime, or did it reset completely?
Say it again.
Because we scored a touchdown with 6 seconds left. Let's say, for example, we get tackled in bounds, the clock expires.
Mm-hmm.
What happens there? Do we start the second overtime period and a third and goal at that same spot, or do they just restart the whole thing again?
I'm not following.
So that was 6 seconds left in the first overtime. There were 6 seconds left.
Yeah.
So let's say
6 seconds in the first quarter. So you I think essentially you just playing another game.
So we play.
You keep going like quarter. Yeah.
Interesting. See, I thought they were going to reset the whole thing again, and it was going to be a new kickoff. Because I was like, dude, we need to get a playoff now.
No. My understanding, I think maybe this is where they need to get some correction to understand. But I thought when they said it's a new game, they meant like it's a new game, like you're going through regulation again until somebody breaks the tie or whatever. Until somebody scores and you get a chance, somebody gets another opportunity to possess the football to answer, right? So once you don't do that or they stop you, game is over. But they give you at least another opportunity and chance to get the football.
Yeah,
you to possess it first.
Okay.
So when they said it's a brand new game, that's what I felt. It was like, okay, we're talking about going through another game, like however long it takes until y'all break it.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that now with everyone saying. I guess they explained the rules of the coin toss. I was talking during the coin toss aspect.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So let's go to the running backs. All right. RBs. These guys had a good year all year. Rashee Rice. He had a couple of carries, which was kind of surprising to me, actually.
Yeah,
the ball to him from the backfield, but he's a bigger receiver. He runs tough. He runs hard. Sometimes I don't know, but Isaiah Pacheco, I said he needs to have at least 15 carries. Okay, he needs to have at least 15. He got 18 last night. 59 yards, 3.3 yards a carry, and the fumble. Okay, he had the fumble. When Pop was still able to churn and get positive yards, and that's all we needed Pop to do is go positive yards. And the only critique I have was I think it was the 3rd and 1, and he didn't get it, and he could have put his head down a little bit more to get past him. It seemed like he kind of popped himself up. Now, this is just me, and it didn't seem like he powered through like he should have because it looked like he stopped his feet. And anytime a running back stops their feet, you can't stop your feet 3rd and 1. You got to go. You got to put your foot in the ground and just go. You got to power through. If you don't have anything, you got to make something happen. And he stopped his feet for a second. That gave the defense time to corral him and throw him down short of the first down. I'm like, God, come on, Pop. Pop. You got to do better than that. But he I don't even think he had nerves. Maybe he did. Maybe a little bit. Okay. Maybe some nerves there. I can agree with it. He had a lot of stars in the house. Usher was going to do a halftime show. That'll make some people nervous, right? Can't perform like Usher's going to do. So, but he had to fumble. He had to fumble, which is very uncharacteristic of him. Uncharacteristic of him.
But both guys, because CMC only third fumble all season also.
Yeah. Man. The Joe was getting popped out there, though.
They were.
The Joe was just hitting them. And not only that, but also, too, you could see that everybody was going for the football. Everybody was stripping at the ball, which was point of emphasis. I'm sure the defense coordinator like, man, strip the ball, go after the ball. We need turnovers. And that's always reiterated on the sideline anyway. CH comes in, get a couple carries. I mean, one carry, no yards. Sometimes I think some of the runs they bring CH in, they set him up.
Yeah, well, Bosa had the chase down tackle on the backside on that play.
Yeah. Well, they didn't go for the what's name it. And what you do with the tight end, it was Kelsey, goes out. And usually you just want that defender, the defensive end, to watch him and either take him or stay, responsibility, in his gap. And Bosa just went. But yeah, he didn't really, but he's done enough to get us to where we need to get to. CH has been spectacular up until to this point, man. He has been, and for him to take on the role that he's taken on this entire year, I got to commend him for that. I really do, because it's not easy. It's not easy to see a guy that you were a couple of years ago, okay, and to celebrate his success, his victories is very tough. Because human nature, people get jealous, and they're very selfish with those things. And I think he genuinely loves Pacheco and McKinnon and everything that they've been able to do as a unit, man.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing about it. That's a great thing about it.
Very tight-knit group.
Yes, it is. I think a lot of it goes into, the coach. I mean, we know he does a good job. You got to think for him, wide receiver background, you can be a prima donna, but when as a unit, you got to be on the same point with everybody. Sometimes it's important to bring that into where, running back, you can definitely be an individual, right? It could just be only you and everybody else. If they come in, get a couple carries and whatever. But sometimes wide receivers, you got 3 or 4 that, you all ride with. And so I think he kept that whole group together, man. He had to. So
one thing I'll say about the Bosa thing is just talk about that, how he was just kind of chasing down. He wasn't really getting responsible for his area. Mm-hmm. They noticed that at the end, that 4th and 2 run where Pat kept it, Bosa chased down Pacheco, and he tackled Pacheco on that play, and Mahomes had a wide open lane to run down the field.
When you find out guys are not as disciplined as they should be in their assignment, you got to take advantage of it. You have to. And at times, I always say this: the hardest defense to go against is to go against a defense where you don't think you expect guys to be. You don't expect Bosa to come straight down the line and make that play. He has a responsibility. Backside defensive end, he's got to watch the boot. He's got to watch these, and he's not doing it. You going like this? Okay, we got something for you, right? We call it the what do you say, Tom and Jerry?
The Tom and Jerry.
Cat, Chase Mouse, we got it. All Chase car. We let you see what you want to see, or let you go for it. Fine. So I'm gonna have all that holding helped out for him. I didn't work.
God.
But then Jet comes in, does a good job, man. Catches a couple of footballs. Good to see him back to do his things. Also, man, it was pivotal in blocking, the pass blocking. You could tell a difference with Jet being there. Man, when they was pulling all that blitzes, when they was bringing the house, Jet was coming in with his shoulder throwing his. I mean, that's why I'm like, Take the air out of it. That's what you need a running back to take the air out of it. And it means give Pat some room so he can throw the football and release it. And the only one that can be able to do that that's as good as anybody, probably the best in the league, is Jet McKinnon.
Yep.
And I watched him take the air out of the defense, you know, and that means you shorten the distance between you and the defender. That's what it means take the air out of it. So he's meeting those guys at the line of scrimmage. And they gave Pat just enough time to make the throws that he needed to make. It's perfect, man. That was perfect. When I say team thing right there. I'm gonna give my guys, man, I'm gonna give them a B. Okay. I'm gonna give them a B. Because I know they work hard. Pacheco's worked hard. He had the fumble in the game, but man, I'm gonna give him a B anyway, because I know he was trying hard. CH came in for the one, but McKinnon brought it back up. So I give these guys a B. Okay.
Yeah. Props to McKinnon. I know, like, obviously, I think the groin repair surgery, whatever it was, and the battle back. It wasn't until like a last minute thing where he was going to be active for this game, and he wanted to play against his old squad, and he got to come in. And man, the pass blocking aspect, and also 2 catches for 15 yards. I mean, he did what, you know. If this was his last go around with us, what a great way to end his career in Kansas City. I know he's been getting year-to-year contracts with us. I mean, I hope he comes back. I mean, at the right price for what he does for our team. It's kind of an essential, and you know that's really not Pacheco's strong suit. So you have him to do his little niche, as being a third down back that he's been, and maybe get somebody else to kind of spell Pacheco this offseason. I don't know, but yeah, what a great way if it is the end for McKinnon in KC. What a great way to end it against his former team to do that. He was extremely emotional after the game. A lot of guys were emotional last night. Him particularly, he was very, very, very emotional about some of the videos I saw.
Hey, man, I don't know. Because, you know, a lot of guys don't know their fate, but, you know, sometimes guys do have an indication. Sometimes the writing's on the wall. Sometimes you just got to be able to see it. You can just tell. You can tell in the conversation. You can tell maybe from your age. You can tell from different ways, different things. That could be your last hoorah there. You just know. When you get older and things happen, you can start getting hurt. That's another thing. And I always say this. People that make a whole lot of money and get hurt become expendable. They're very expendable. But he's been just, you know, first class all the way, man. First class all the way.
100%.
Christelle McKinnon is a dog, 100%. Dog through and through, man. All heart. All heart. Yeah, I think Kyle said, man, he had supposedly a fractured pelvis and a core muscle injury. He's back in a month.
It's crazy.
Hey, man. Yo, when you're talking about somebody who sells out to win, that's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what he looks like. He was probably sitting there saying, he told the doctors and everybody, it's like, look, man, if I'm even 75%, I'm going. Don't keep me out of this game. You can't do it. I will lay down what I have to play in this game, to help my team out. And he knew he could, and he did. Yeah, he said much needed. Yeah, Bird Banging had a needy first down, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And he was also the running back in there on the Tom and Jerry play. He was the running back in on that option.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those guys get a B, man, from me. So let me go to the O-line. The O-lineman. All right. The O-line was a little rusty coming out. You had to catch up to the speed of the game, all right? But I think Juwan Taylor did a good job against Bosa. I think he did a good job. Hell, he was in his tail all night, pass rushing. Bosa's a hard guy to block, man. Just slippery. He's a lot sleeker than what people think, you know, because he got the big muscles. But he's kind of like a smaller kind of guy in a sense. And Juwan was able to move his feet, man, put his hands on him. 0 holds, right? 0 holds. How many times they called it against Bosa? 0. 0. And those guys did a good job. They did. And And what I said, when their defense was playing fast, the first couple of series on our offense against our offense, they were just coming out with the ball, man. They was hurting us. It was killing us. And we were slow. We were just step too slow. They was getting penetration. They was hitting guys in the mouth. We couldn't get it. Fred Warner came out there and stopped it was I think wide receiver screen. Donovan Smith tried to get to, couldn't get his hands on him. I'm like, oh shit. Jeez. We are slow right now. We are just slow. And so as the game started going on, they was able to adjust to the speed. Like, okay, we need to step it up. I love watching the physicality of offensive linemen. I do. I love seeing them just slaying dudes around. I mean, beat people up. I seen one where Creed threw Warner out of bounds and threw him down on the coach. I'm like, that's the nastiness that you need from an offensive lineman. There's no niceties on those things like that. None. So sometimes you got to go ahead and get to the grind with it. You have to. And that's what I love about it, because it's like, okay, y'all got us the first half. Okay, kind of bringing it to us. But we're going to keep pushing on you. We're going to keep pushing on you. Trey, too, start beating some people up. Allegretti, a little slow at the beginning, got his feet up underneath him, started hitting him. Ghost Hunter 19 said it, best game of the season last night. I agree with you. That was a very good game. He did a very good game. No holds, solid. You didn't really hear Bosa's name last night at all. They was trying to bring him in. He stepped up and it was shoot. He gave him a pocket like he needed to. He gave him a pocket like he needed. But these guys, man, they this is the unit. I seen that little segment that I guess it was Kyle Long or Chris Long? Who did it? Somebody, one of them did like a little segment with them. I don't even know what it was on, man. They all spoke very eloquently. For one, he's the offensive linemen are cerebral. They are. They're very aren't they? These jokers are clever. They're funny. Every possible personality you could think of, offensive line of that. Is that Cal and Chris do it together? Okay. Yeah. Well, this one, I think he was, I don't know which one was sitting there with the interview, was doing it just with the crew. But they were actually, kind of, talking about Allegretti, the things that he was doing and, how good he was. But also, too, how much they just supported the entire team, the running backs, all of that, man. You could tell this unit, man, they're as close as you could possibly be. I mean, when you're thinking about somebody that is going to be your protectors, that's a great group of guys right there. You wouldn't want it any other way. When I think about offensive lineman, I think about my offensive lineman. I'm taking them jokers anywhere. Okay, we folding the whole club up or wherever it may be. We tear it we're gonna tear it down, right? Tear it down. Those guys, they have that in them, man. That's what I love about it. I love it. Those guys just having respect and honor, love for one another as they do. I give this group, man. I'm gonna give them a B also. I'll give them a B also. All right, they gave Pat a good time. They gave him some room. Like I said, a little shaky the first half, but they got it back. They brought it back second half. And then sometimes in the game, this is what's going to happen. Guys going to win. But they showed out when they needed to. So I give them a good B. That's a solid B right there. The Christmas cards paid off. Hey, they had to. If they didn't, he was going to be taken away. Pat was going, hey, listen. He said, I could repo those jokers anytime I want to.
That is true. All Great's going to give each some options to come this offseason. I believe Tooney's contract has got a big cap hit coming this offseason. Not saying Al Gray's on Tooney's level, but we're trying to save some nickels and dimes here and try to keep some of the guys on our defense. There could be something there unless Tooney wants to restructure. But that is true. Al Gray did show us that you can plug him in and look all right in that O-line.
Yeah, I would assume that Tony would restructure, probably more than anything else. Like you said, Allegretti, as good as he is, he's not Tony.
Yeah.
So one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to compromise the offensive line, because you got the guy in the back that's winning games for you. You got to take care of. I'm not saying Allegretti can, because he has been doing it. He's consistent. I trust Allegretti. All right, let me just make that clear. I trust him. I do. If you have a guy that you paid a lot of money that you know is a Pro Bowl, like you already got him in house,
Yeah.
right? So, I see a restructure probably going on with that.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think I'm sure he'll be fine with it. So let's go to tight ends. TEs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas!
That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So we'll talk about Travis Kelce. 9 catches, 93 yards. First half is very hard for him to get going. And I think because what they wanted to do with Travis Kelce is, we're going to put a nickel guy on you. All right? We just want him in your hip pocket. We just want him running with you. Because when you start to, do your own routes and whatnot, then he can at least keep up with you to make a play on the football. He's a better cover guy than a safety, better cover guy than a linebacker. He's not as big, but they don't expect Travis to push on this guy, right? They're like, hey, look, he ain't going to push on you. Just stay in his hip pocket, right? And so that's what I think Pat was seeing, a lot more of that. And obviously it was bracketing him. Safety coming down on several plays, just kind of looking the spine to see what he was doing. So, and then Fred Warner being on it too. The line of scrimmage, they'd be like, Fred, put your hands on him. That's what you need to do. If you want to stop, you don't want to cover him, put your hands on him early, right? Disrupt the timing of what we have to do. And we want the 4 to be able to get after Pat. So that was the game plan going in. If you want to beat the Chiefs, you have got to stop Travis Kelce. Period, bottom line. Okay? Bottom line. You have got to stop him. In the first half, they were successful. They were very successful on the things they did. And then it was just like, look, you know what? We got to start running some where guys are releasing on different levels, stacking, flat routes, shallow crosses, quick throws to Travis, just get the ball in his hands and see what we can do. They were sniffing out, which we know, every tight end screen, wide receiver screen. That's our MO, right? That's the one thing they weren't going to let us do, is get yards on those things like that. They just, as soon as you see it, you go, you strike. And they were doing a very good job defending us for that. 8 for 92 in the second half. Yeah. He said he'd go.
I was watching one of the shows today, and the catch that little rub route that he had at the end of the game that got us to get into field goal range, at the end of regulation.
Yeah,
that was the fastest Travis Kelce has run on a football field in 7 years on that sprint. 7 years. So for all the people who thought he's washed, this guy's running faster than he's ever run in a game. In 7 years, the fastest he ever run on the field. And also, Mark Sanchez said on that play, he was kind of looking at that play specifically, said Warner needed to get his hands on Kelce. He was letting him have a free release off that line. And then when we're at the time where Gray comes off his route, they were able to kind of get that rubber out pretty cleanly, he said there.
Well, so I don't think it was Gray's coming across. Who was that? I thought it was Rice that came across there. Or James. It was one of those. I think it was Rasheed Rice. Either way, Travis kind of took a step outside enough to kind of open up a little bit, Fred, because he just wanted to get him off his grass. As long as you get him off his grass, he didn't put your hands on him immediately, then you win. He had enough room where he couldn't be able to work it. So Travis seen it immediately, like, okay, I just need room. Once he could be able to get some room, he would just went flat. And going flat, he was able to get up the field a little bit more in the angle. Pat put it right on him, man. But I mean, Travis knew he was out in the wind. He knew that. He knew Fred was trying to catch up at that moment. All he had to do was catch and turn. Like, those are the balls you want because you don't have to come back here. You run right here in front of you while you're running in stride, and you know you're not breaking stride at all. And Travis felt that. And that's why he opened up like he did. And he took that joker's shoulder off.
Yeah.
He took that sucker's shoulder off. That sucker was sitting over there. I'm like, man. I'm like, dad, God, he almost ran through this man's chest. He did. But look, we can talk about real quick. First, I'll talk about Noah Gray did a good job coming in, getting his 2 catches for 20 yards. Blake Bell came in and did some blocking as well. It was a very good job by our guys, okay, by the tight end core. I always do a good job. I always say this is probably the most solid group on the Chiefs besides the secondary, right? And so that's debatable because I'm a tight end. I think that's what we do. It's what we do, right?
Yeah, a little biased there. It's all right.
Yeah. We take care of business. But I know people bring up what happened with him and Reed. So I didn't get to see that. Somebody told me about it when the game was going on. Somebody's like, man, do you see what was happening? Oh, I thought that's when WWF the coach. Well, when my boy was telling me about it, I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, yo, I said, look. I said, Travis Kelce and Andy Reid are as like brother, big brother, little brother. Like they have so much respect for one another. It was probably like a bump to like, hey, man, let's get this thing going. And so I didn't get to see it until after, I watched the replay. And all he did, he just called Andy when he wasn't looking. And Andy said, I heard Andy was like, hey, man, look, he just called me when I had my feet up underneath me, right? And, sometimes somebody bumps you when you're not paying attention, you're not looking for it. You can what's name it? You can get knocked off balance. Yeah. And so that's all that was. I don't think it was anything more than that. Obviously, the camera catches are like, oh, my God, like Travis Kelce's trying to kill Andy Reid. Right? Shay Deuce, I see you out there, man. I see you, Shay Deuce. That's my cousin right there. But my thing is, look, they do have this relationship with one another. Okay, and I think a lot of people don't know that. Now, Andy, I'm sure Andy probably called him in there for like, hey, look, like, you got me on that one. Okay? He probably whispered like, look, don't ever do it. Like, don't ever do it again. Jokingly, maybe even serious, like, shit. Okay. But they was cool. I'm sure, Travis like, man, I'm sorry, big dog. I didn't mean to catch it like that. But those two guys are good. I said, man, Andy Reid and Travis Kelce are going to retire the same year. They talked about it. They have discussed this. They are retiring the same year. So they know what they have nothing but love for one another. It's just them challenging, getting everybody riled up, okay, to do more. That's all it is. And Andy does it to him too. Like, hey man, straighten up. And they'll give him that little shoulder, bump, right? And that's how they play. I'm cool with that. I ain't got no problem with it. So anybody that makes it a big deal, man, just don't know how what their relationship is all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the ones who were playing that up online yesterday were the same people who hate the whole Taylor Swift stuff. They just want a reason to hate Travis Kelce and more reason to pile it on. So that's same contingency of people who are doing that.
Well, of course. I mean, and you got to realize that's who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's people who may not follow the Chiefs closely to know that's what it is, right? Yeah. So that's how I'll put that right there, and I'll put that to bed because it was a no thing, nothing there, right? Nothing there. But I give my tight ends. I give these guys Travis Kelce, what these dudes do. Somebody said that Travis Kelce wanted to be in blocking for that play. I don't. Noah Gray was in there, pushing on him. He could have been in the play. Play could still happen the way that could have happened.
Yeah.
At that point, that's on pop. That's what that is. High and tight, baby. That's what it is.
It would be one thing if Noah Gray caught the ball there and fumbled it. Then I would see the argument there, but I mean that was Pacheco's fumble.
Yeah. I was gonna give me a football to show everybody high and tight what high and tight is.
Oh, it just shows the 5 points.
Yeah. But the thing is, Pop knows when anytime you're in a crowd, now you close 2 hands on the football. That's how it works. Don't leave it out here. Put your hands on it, cover it. All right. That's especially if you know that they're going after it. He probably could feel them clawing at it all night. But our tight ends, I'm gonna give them. Oh shoot!
Come on, you got to end the grades season on the same way we started, baby. Come on.
Hey man, look, I'm always biased for my dudes, man. I'm biased for my guys. Travis didn't have a great game at the very beginning, but he came out the second half, man, and blitzed those jokers up, pop knots all over their head.
He ended the semester strong. He got a good game in the finals.
Yeah, like he's that dude. He's that dude. I was on the show with Farzine. I did his show,
mm-hmm.
and Farzine said, "Is Travis Kelce the best tight end of all time?" And I said, "Not yet." Okay, and I stick by that. All right, he's right there, no doubt about it. I said him and Gonzalez are A and B, 1 and 2. That's what it is. How everybody slices it, that's on them. That's on them. All right. But I give the nod to Gonzalez because 17 years, 1 game missed 1 game out of 17 years. Got the best hands out of any tight end I've ever seen in my life. As my life. Yeah, Tony says he is though. Yeah, Tony says that.
That's good. That's good. He says that, but do we know? Does he actually think it?
Look, this is my opinion. TG can have his own opinion about it too, right? Some guys might not say they're the best and all that, right? And very modest and humble and all those different things. I tell you what, TG, he never had the luxury to run his own routes like Travis does.
That's true.
If you realize that, like within the confounds of offenses, we don't have option routes to do the things that Travis can do. We don't have that luxury. Never have.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing about it. And he gets open a lot because they tell him get open. He can get open. But I mean, TG, man, athlete. Travis, athlete. And I say this, man, the Chiefs have the best tight ends of all time.
Yep.
Of all time. Nobody could touch, man, Travis's yak yards, what he's done in 10 years, 1,000 yards, season after season. Nobody's touching that.
Mm-hmm.
But TG was the first tight end I ever saw get double and triple team and still produce. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I watched this myself. And we have this conversation. I'm just saying conversation between tight ends that we've had, okay? There's other guys on different teams. Sometimes we don't understand why Travis don't get double teamed like that.
It's conspiracy, that's why.
Dude, is that what it is?
I'm just joking.
Sometimes he doesn't get double teamed. I'm just like, man, I'm double teaming this joke as much as possible. And we see it now. They do kind of bracket him and stuff when they get into games now. But that was normal for TG. Kind of when he started getting into his stuff, man. And so
and also too, like the offenses you guys played were primarily run heavy offenses back in those days. And this is also too, and I know everyone's talking about the rings and stuff, and obviously the game has changed, it's evolved. Like Tony never had Mahomes. Yes, Trent Green was awesome, but Tony had about 1 quarterback per year. I think I read some statistic that Tony averaged about 1 quarterback per year. If you look at all the starting quarterbacks who threw to him during his time, 15 something quarterbacks, if I remember correctly. So like that's tough, man.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Shout out to 10, man, Trent Green. Trent, man, he could throw it. He could spin that. He could spin that ball, man.
Oh yeah.
Our offense was just geared differently. And so when you now know it is a passing offense, Tony was more of an inline guy. He wasn't wide as much as Travis is. He's not running in motion, doing the things that Travis is doing now. So it's a totally different thing. I'd say this was more like a Jordan and LeBron comparison, like when people get into it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, if you ain't never seen TG play, they never watched him, they just don't know. People only know what they know. So sometimes when they dismiss Tony, I'm just like, well, you definitely haven't watched it. You have not watched that.
So you're a tight end. So the interesting thing about this is people just have passed Tony Gonzalez when talking about this stuff. They literally just compare Gronk and Kelsey. Don't even mention Gonzalez anymore, which is really unfortunate because people who don't know TG's game, I don't know.
It's not just unfortunate; it's asinine.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
That too.
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's like, well, shit, you ain't doing your homework. You don't know. I get Gronk's a hell of a tight end. He's done some tremendous things, but and I was even speaking out there to Shannon Sharp, saying it to him too. Not put him on the Mount Rushmore tight ends. That's just hating straight from Shannon.
100%.
Ridiculous. Shannon mad because Tony was better than him.
Yeah.
So,
and Shannon had the luxury of playing with one of the best quarterbacks of all time too.
Yeah, no doubt. Shannon undersized, 225. Tony running around 250. 255 doing what he's doing. Like I said, go up and catch any ball that's thrown to him. I mean, hey, man.
Since we're on the subject of tight ends, I thought it was a travesty that Antonio Gates did not get in this first ballot of Hall of Famers. Travesty.
Who I don't understand that whatsoever. Not saying those guys are not or deserving of it. Gatesy should be in.
100%.
Without a doubt. He's one of the best tight ends ever played the game. So people are taking for what it's worth, man. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, we've had the two best of all time. And I just say because of Tony's durability, that he was able to block defensive end, linebackers, safeties, done everything was asked to do. But like you said, we had a running. That's what we do. We had a running team. We handed the ball off to Pre. Pre getting the ball 25, 30 times. That's what we handed it off to. And LJ. That's how offense is going to run. So, yeah. But Travis and Tony, they're right there. So, if Tony want to give him a nod, this is my opinion. I'm just, so.
Hey, TGC is an all-time great, Hall of Famer. And then we're also seeing him do the introduction. The Jerry Rice does the introduction for the San Francisco 49ers as they come out. And then TG's doing the introductions for us. I thought that was pretty sweet. So, there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, Travis is almost there, man. I'm telling you. I mean, because of what he's able to do in a short amount of time, right? But it's two different things you're dealing with. So, all right. But tight ends, I'm gonna take my Cal Henning. You said it. I'm gonna give my tight ends an A. I'm giving my A, man. I'm giving my guys an A. That's what they got. And
A strong, baby. Ending the season strong with that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right, let's go to my QB. I know it's taking longer than what they expected. I'm about to tear up right now. I'm just playing.
That was me last night at the beginning of our episode last night, JD.
Look. Hey, man. Patrick Mahomes was not going to be denied. When he knew he was in striking distance to win this game, he was going to will this victory if it took everything in him to get it done. He didn't care who was going to be in and bought into it. He was going to get it. He was going to make it happen. He was going to get it done. The tenacity, the focus, the greatness that he exudes is apparent. And everybody knows it. Even the ones that hate on him and say this and, he talks this way and whatever. You can say whatever you want to say about Patrick Mahomes, okay? But you just look like a fool doing it. You can't take away from his greatness. Can't take it away from his competitive nature. Not saying other quarterbacks don't have greatness and competitive nature. But when you see a guy who at the end of the game, you know, when you watch all the San Francisco 49ers players are sitting there watching Patrick Mahomes come off of the other side, they are worried. They are petrified. They know, the defense knows, we gave this guy too much time. Way too much time. When somebody decides they want to be better than everybody else, they move differently. They think differently. They carry themselves differently. And so he never got shook. He just wanted more opportunities. He just wanted more. Just give me a platform so I can do what I do and what I do best. And that is win. That is compete. Give me that platform. And he had it on the biggest stage last night for everybody to see. I told my grandson this last night. I said, man, you see Patrick Mahomes? You see that fire in his eye, what it means, the passion about him winning, what it means to him? That's what winners do. They don't make excuses. They don't fuss and fight. He had to get past that whole thing with Buffalo during the season because it wasn't him. Composure and confidence, thanks, cuz, on 1,000, no doubt about it. When you got a guy like that in your huddle, you don't have nothing to worry about. I don't care what anybody says about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is already in the GOAT conversation for me. He's already there. For what he's been able to do in a short amount of time compared to Tom Brady is nothing less than sensational. He's going to take some more time to catch up to Tom because Tom's phenomenal too, right? And there's that 1A, 1B, however you want to, A, first, second, however you want to put them. But Patrick Mahomes is that much above every other quarterback out there. There's no other conversation. I don't want to hear nobody else's name as a quarterback mentioned with Patrick Mahomes anymore on these guys that's playing in the NFL. I don't want to hear no more Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to hear nobody. Nobody's name. Because he's that much more above everybody else. And it's not even close. All they kept saying is, oh, he's not a typical quarterback. He's not your, he's not the pocket passer. Well, Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys that does it a lot better than everybody else. He may not be as good as your top guy, but he's better than everybody else. And when I say that, I mean, yeah, he may not be able to run the football with his legs like Lamar Jackson, but he's in the conversation as better one of the best running quarterbacks out there in the NFL. He might not be able to be as poised in the pocket, maybe like Joe Burrow stands up there, Justin Herbert, or maybe throw Josh Allen there. But he's better than everybody else. He's just as good as those guys in those things and can be. But then he extends himself by making throws and things that everybody else just can't do. He's got a whole different gear that everybody else just does not have, that they cannot do. And that's Patrick Mahomes. That's what separates him from everybody else out there. It is his tenacity. It is his willingness to win. It's his willingness to make things and get the job done, to make everybody around him better, coaches included. You don't think a coach like Andy Reid didn't need a Patrick Mahomes?
He did. He was where Kyle Shanahan, everyone's talking about Kyle Shanahan today being a choke artist. That was the same conversation they were having with Andy pre-Mahomes.
Yeah. I see, on Twitter, I searched a little bit today, and somebody had brought up an old tweet that they was talking about Troy Aikman, that he already accomplished, that Patrick Mahomes accomplished like 33% or something. Troy Aikman said, come see me in another, I forgot how many years until he gets my Super Bowl rings. Hello, Troy. Hello. Yes, we got it. We done did it. We crushed it. And the other quarterbacks, oh, look at that fierce thing. Dan Alaska. Oh, look how fierce that was. Dan Alaska today? Patrick Mahomes, the best thing I've ever seen.
I know.
I'm going to put this, I ain't even going to tell you. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. It's not even close. And every other quarterback in the NFL knows that too. Every other quarterback that's coming into the NFL knows right now who's the greatest football player in the NFL is. It might be of all time. Now, I know people have different debates on defense, guys, and stuff like that, right? Everybody has a space. Let me put it that way, okay? I don't want to say I don't like that conversation. I don't like that saying it that way. Best ever. Okay, it's context in that. Quarterback, because it's a team sport. I don't want a team sport. But for him willing like he did last night, okay. Patrick Mahomes had 34 completion for 46 attempts, 333 yards, and 2 touchdowns last night. He had 9 carries for 66 yards, 7.3 average. The sucker wore his cape last night.
Yeah.
He had an S on his chest. He had a utility belt. He has a trident like Aquaman. He had his lasso like Wonder Woman. You name it.
Yeah, shield like Captain America.
He was like Captain America. He had his pants and suit on like Iron Man. What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about? And the football's his hammer. That sucker was a hero last night. And I'll do one more. Patrick Mahomes smash like hook. And that's what he did against that defense. That's what it was. It was a phenomenal display last night. Phenomenal display. That was a great game, man. I'm just going back through it, man. It was a great game last night. Yeah, God, Mark's been on the hour. Okay. Patrick Mahomes is that dude. And I'm so happy for him because he was getting the hate. He was like, look, I'm going to embrace the role. I'm going to embrace the villain role. I'm going to embrace it. Embrace it. Fine. Say whatever you want to say. I'm not a villain, but I will embrace it. I'll be whatever you want me to be. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, when I get finished, you make sure you say NFL Super Bowl MVP. Okay? How about you say that? How about you say world champ, Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes? 3-time Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes. Put some respect on his name. PM15, the Grim Reaper. So, Patrick Mahomes, man, A+. It's a hell of a job last night by Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, especially in that second half and overtime. Overtime especially. Multiple those fourth down runs, man. We talked about on the betting show. He's going to eclipse his rushing total because he's going to do whatever it takes to get those yards.
Whatever it takes. And then he knew he had to do it with his legs. That fourth down, I ain't throwing the ball to nobody. I'm running it. Taking off at the end of the game. We seen this last year against Philly. Same thing. Take him around up the middle.
On one leg.
And stuff. Yeah, get that little, when you get that little chest running down, I said, oh, yeah, there you go. Get it. The sucker, man. It was a hell of a job by him last night. Hell of a job. So, that's what we got on offense. Go through the defense real quick, okay? Send your comments in. I want to hear what everybody has to say. Dad bod. He was a little mad at the dad bod thing.
He
He was
was.
like, man, he caught me at a bad angle. Yeah, he caught me at a bad angle. I guess whatever angle you look at him and take a picture, it's going to show a little belly. He's still got
Little cute little belly he's got.
But Patrick Mahomes, A+. Coach did a phenomenal job on the offensive side of the ball. Nagy, Andy, great job calling the second half, getting better, making adjustments like they should have. Well done. All right. So we're going to go to our DBs. Let's go to our secondary first, okay? DB grade. So they got good receivers. They got tight end and whatnot. We know what they have. Snead and McDuffie, Reed and Edwards had their hands full last night, but they were sticky in coverage. They ain't giving me anything extra. I think the only time they got something extra was when Jenny scored that touchdown. They didn't make the tackle. That's about it. Other than that, they was it, man. I'm talking about they was all these jokers like the number on their jersey. How close they were. And they've been like that all season. This is the best secondary in football, ladies and gentlemen. The best secondary in football. As a collective. There's nobody better. None. Nobody. They did a hell of a job last night. So he scored on Snead. That's the second touchdown of the season. One during this, come on. So it's two he got for the entire season, right? Playoffs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. These guys, man, played a great game. Came up, made some tackles. We know Ayuk and those guys going to catch some balls. Jenny's going to catch some footballs. Did a good job, man. I'm gonna give these guys. I'm gonna give them a B+. That's where I'm at with it. I'm gonna give them a B+. Okay. Those are some things obviously they probably could have gotten better at, but B+. That's what they got from me. All right. They did a hell of a job. I know McDuffie got the holding call. For the life of me, I was just talking to one of my brothers that was here. One of my boys I played ball with. He played with Arizona Cardinals. He's a defensive coordinator. We were talking while we was watching this game. And the holding call that McDuffie got, I'm just like, man, why he should be playing him heavy inside? Why would we even go for the outside move? Play the sideline. Heck, it's like third, I think it was like 3rd and 14 or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If he runs that, right? They're gonna kill you. Mm-hmm. Let him catch it. You still got the sideline to catch and play. But the one you can't get beat is the inside. So, especially if you don't have any help. If it's man, you don't have any help or whatever, So,
yeah, I thought that was a bad. I thought it was personally a bad call. I mean, the officials pretty much stayed out of the entire game. I was like, eh.
No, as a call, he held it. He was around his waist. Heck, a second, if you're trying to get inside and somebody comes around my waist like a belt, I can't hold it. Because Purdy was going to him. That's another thing too. So they had to call it, right? So if you impede a guy from going, I mean that's a clear call. I saw it too. I was like, oh man, it's kind of ticket. I'm like, well, until they showed it in replay, he had a joke around the waist. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Hey, it's better give it up 6.
For sure. Yeah, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that. Ain't mad at that up.
There's a video online that showed that McDuffie and Snead, it was like showing a compilation of them. I mean, I don't know what it was, but it seems like we did really good film work this week. Obviously, we did, but we were running their routes while Debo's running like a dig or whatever. We're running the routes with them. It's like, holy crap! It's like they knew what they were going to run.
On it. That's what I said, man. We were so sticky last night. Hip pocket. We were as tight as their numbers on their jersey. That's how close we were to them. I'm trying to tell you. So But I gave them guys a B plus, man. B plus for the DBs, secondary.
Agreed.
All right. Linebackers. Linebackers did a pretty decent job. I would say it's the greatest game. They were very sound in what they needed to do. Bolton probably should have had daggone an interception.
Yeah.
Too, man. I mean, yeah. He still got that little club on his hand, so
It's true.
But they did a pretty decent job. McCaffrey tried to stop him that's a handful. It's always a handful to try to stop him. But getting those guys, they did what they could, man. Once those linemen start getting up on second level, pushing them over, that's tough to do. That is tough. But our linebackers played a good game. I think they did. They were sound in what they needed to do. Shedding guys, making tackles. And one touchdown to McCaffrey. Bolton was running. He kind of overran it. The guy pushed him out of the way. But they were solid. They were solid. Solid playing. Chanel did a good job. Running almost stopping Purdy on that one. But this picture you have up, I think it's the one that was called back, wasn't it? Because I think Kittle caught this one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But these guys, man, solid job. So I'm gonna give my linebackers, man. I'm gonna give them also a B plus. I'm gonna give them a B plus. Okay, it was all right. Give them B. I'm gonna give them a B.
That's fair.
B.
Chanel had the highest graded, was the highest graded player in the Super Bowl by Pro Football Focus. Take that for what it's worth, but yeah, I mean, he also had a strip on CMC, the one that caught the fumble to begin the game. So I mean, he played a really good game. He could be someone that I know we have a couple linebackers who are free agents, so I think we may retain one of those guys and let Chanel have a bigger role next year.
Sure, Chanel's a starter. We don't need. I mean, he's perfect where he's at. I don't think
for sure. No, I'm saying like if we are to let. I mean, it seems like I don't think we're going to keep both Gay and Tranquil. I feel like they're going to keep one of them, and then Chanel gets the even bigger role next year with having either Gay or Tranquil back.
Well, I mean, we don't take him out anyway, though, right? So I mean, I don't think we ever do without Chanel as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the second half of the season, yeah, his role has grown a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know as far as we'll talk about that in the show, different show.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, yeah, and he was also the one that blocked the extra point as well. Chanel was.
It was him.
Yep.
Shit, Leo Chanel, unsung hero,
all over the field.
All over the field, man. But he does it week in and week out. He just goes to work.
And Bolton, I saw the stat too. In 2 games, is tied for 10th in Super Bowl history in total tackles.
Suckers all over the field, man. Bolton, that's my guy. I don't know why people did. I couldn't understand the Bolton hurt the. I could never understand it. The criticism of Bolton, I could never understand that. I'm like, huh? What people talking about Bolton not being good or overrated or what?
I don't know. It was very weird hate. I don't know if that was a Kansas City, Missouri thing for people who were anti-Missouri players for the Kansas Jayhawk folk. I have no idea.
All right. Oh. Mike Brennan said, "Come on, JD, a B plus." You know what, Mike? I'm gonna take y'all word for it. Okay, y'all don't get B plus. I don't think it's over the top. Solid. A B is a solid. It's a solid grade. It's a solid grade. Yeah.
Solid.
All right, Mike, man. I'm gonna stay with mine, man, on the B. All right, solid grade, brother.
Mike, that's a special teams grade. You're not getting that for a linebacker grade. That's a special teams grade, buddy.
I guess guys on the
That's a different role altogether. That's your special team grade. You don't get defense for grade.
Well, no, I guess that's a defensive. That's actually a defensive. What's the name?
That wouldn't be considered special team, though. I mean,
Because you keep your regular defense in. You're not really taking anybody out. So because you want to keep your regular defense in just in case they try to fake it or something,
Right.
So, oh shoot, I'll think on the mic. Let me move on to defensive line real quick. Okay. I said this. Same thing with the wide receivers. Okay. That somebody needed to step up besides your big guys. The beast, Pennell, showed out, man, with those big arms. That Joker played a hell of a game. And we needed guys to just step up in the absence of Menahu, Nandi. We needed guys to come in and play at a high level, and they did that. And so Wharton and Pennell, Dannon, all these guys, King Felix, all these guys came in and they played their part and they played their position really, really well, above what I expected them to. They needed to do it, and they delivered. They did not disappoint at all. Did not disappoint at all. So, shout out to them, man. Seriously, they did a hell of a job. When we needed them to step up, they did. I'm gonna talk about Big Dog real quick. Chris Jones. We're not where we are. We don't have 3 Super Bowls without Chris Jones. Let me be clear. Even with Pat on the other side, Pat might have won, maybe won, because the offense was so dominant. They ain't winning 2 or 3 without Chris Jones. And that you got to think about the course of the year, all the things he's been able to do. Chris Jones is an absolute dominant force. I don't see us moving on. I can't see us moving on, getting something done with Chris Jones. He has to be a priority for us this year. A whole lot of people say move on from me at the very beginning of the year. If we had done that, we had easily been home, easily, watching from the couch, hating on somebody else's team. We've been hating on somebody else from that matter. Chris Jones is making plays, getting back there. And sometimes people say, man, look, you got to be honest. There's times that he takes breaks. He needs a breather. You can see that. But when Chris Jones when he goes, he goes. There ain't nobody better. There is no one in the NFL better than him and Aaron Donald on those things. But Chris Jones, and I do believe your brother said us last night, I do believe the durability, he's been taking care of his body. He can still play at a high level for another 3 years. Easy.
Yep.
Easy. Come in and make plays. So, Big Dog comes in, eats. He's getting all the guys on the sideline ready. Without that voice, nobody else is getting up there. Nobody else is getting the rest of the defense together like that to talk to him, to fuss at him. Nobody else is doing it. That's why Andy Reid came over and hugged him and jumped on top of him like a little teddy bear.
It's a good moment.
Yeah, it's like I hold up my daughters where they bouncing them up. That's how you did with Andy Reid. That was good. That was a good moment. That was a good picture. Wow. Them guys hugged each other, man, just enjoying it because they understood how much it meant. Even through all the fight through the year and whatnot, they deserved that. They deserved it. They deserved it. So I'm gonna get my D line. I'm gonna give them guys. Kalafka's coming in making pressures. But I forgot about talking about him. High motor guy, getting after him. I mean, we were pushing the pocket on Purdy all day. He felt the pressure. He felt it. He felt the pressure. I'm gonna give my D line. I'm gonna give them guys a B. I'm gonna give my D line. I'm gonna give them a B. Okay. Mike, man, I'm going to give the linebackers a B plus, brother. All right. If I give him a B, I'm gonna give him a B plus. Okay, that's what I'll do. All right, I'm good with it.
Yeah, Adam Schefter said it earlier on the Pat McAfee show. The Chiefs are going to run it back with a lot of this team intact. I don't think Chris Jones is going to want to leave unless there's some huge offers out there. So, and that goes along with the report we saw from this weekend that Veach is trying to work his magic to keep Snead and Chris Jones in KC.
Yeah, man. Go, hey, hold him to the bargain. Hold him on bargain. Hold him to bargain. No ways on defense, JD. Yards per catch, 3.6. I mean, you know, he had 8 for 80. You know, yards per run, 22, 83.6. It was good. Damn. I got two B pluses. 2 B pluses, ain't it?
Yeah, I feel like it's reversed. Beginning of the season, we weren't expecting it even to be as good as it was. You were giving A's all across the board. Offense, you know, when he had a really good game, Mahomes, you're still rating him that. You know, you still want more out of him. Now we're getting to this point in the season. We've seen how good our defense can be, and it's like, okay, well, you know, I've seen better games from you guys. And then Mahomes, best game of the season, we give him an A+ here.
Yeah, yards per carry. That's right. Yeah, yards per carry. I'm gonna give him a. How about this, Cal? How about I do this, brother? How about I give him a B plus? I give him a B plus too. All right. Okay. No A's. All B pluses. Okay. It is 22 points against their weaponry. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I agree with you.
They're averaging like about 29 points a game or 28.6 or something like that in the season.
Yeah. But the brilliancy of Spags. Putting these guys in a position to win and make plays. I mean, he was chess master. And he was throwing everything at him. He was one step ahead of them. He knew what they were going to do. Yes, Spags gets an A. Spags definitely gets the A.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Those guys just got to go out there, man, and perform. You know, they just got to go out there and just go do it. So yeah, man, Spaz gets an A for sure. So all B pluses. I like the B plus, B plus, B plus. All the guys.
JD, special teams. The punt team looked really good yesterday, and obviously Bucker was phenomenal.
Buckner was phenomenal, like always. If I separated Buckner, would get an A plus every time. He get an A+ by himself. So that's what I'm gonna do. So Buckner, I'm gonna give A+. All right. Tommy, I'm gonna give a B+. And the cover unit and return unit, I'm gonna give them a B. They might get a C+.
Really? Wow.
I know everybody said the special teams did because you use them as a unit. I wasn't pleased with our return at all.
Oh, return. Yeah.
Lost the ball.
Muffed it.
Him getting tackled over there. Our guy's not staying on the gunner. He almost got his neck ripped off.
Mm.
I wasn't pleased at that at all. So
that was part of return. But what about punt coverage? The our kicking game or punting game?
Yeah. Who was that? Joshua Williams made that tackle?
Yeah.
That was a hell of a job by him.
It was.
Supposed to look. So overall unit, overall, I'm gonna give them a B. Okay. Solid B. Right? Solid B.
That's fair.
So there's my grades. That's my grades. That's my grades for the Chiefs Super Bowl. That's where I'm at, man. I know we've been doing this a long time. This is our longest show, Marcus.
Oh, yeah, we're capping off our great season with a 2-hour episode, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, well, that does it for us for the night, guys. Appreciate everyone who came in for the comments. Everybody who really welcomed this new show that we put on our channel this year. Is one of our highest ticketed shows. We had a lot of viewers for the show, so really pleased everybody got to see our Monday, our post game show with this one. So we're like we said, we're gonna try to keep a Monday night live stream of some sort going throughout the off season and stuff. It won't be 2-hour episodes, so there you go. You guys will have your nights back. But tomorrow, me, Tasia, and JD will be on Bleacher Report for a 1 month out kind of off season outlook. I think we're gonna be talking about the Jerry Sneed, Chris Jones contract situation, how that's gonna go. But yeah, if you guys can't catch that at 4:00, hard time for everybody to be on. That'll be on our channel later on, a couple hours later. And then Wednesday, JD and I will be back. Well, JD's gonna be at the parade Wednesday.
Be at the parade Wednesday. I'm trying to hold on, Mark. Let me do this real quick. Okay. Here is to the Chiefs in their brilliant season, to the organization for bringing in another championship for the city of Kansas City and the fans, Kansas City fans. Well-deserved. This team fought through every adversity, every issue, criticism, and they never lost sight. They never lost focus. They did an amazing job. And this right here is to them, to the Hunt family, for all y'all have done, Beach, everybody supporting the Chiefs, trainers, equipment guys, ground crew, all the people in the office, everyone. Okay? Here's your cheers to all of you all, okay? For a wonderful season, a wonderful season. I don't drink it often, but I'm going to have me a little sip of some bubbly, Marcus.
You deserve
that. Yeah. Hey, and to DT 58, right? And Normal Hunt for all of those. Absolutely. Legend.
Yep.
Appreciate all of you all for coming out here, checking us out on Chief Concerns, sticking with us, coming out here, enjoying it. I love seeing my family here. Everybody saying what's up. New faces coming in.
Yep.
Love you, cuz. Love each and every one of y'all out here, Chiefs Concerned family, all the Chiefs family. Love y'all. Cheers to you all. Here to y'all. Cheers.
So Wednesday, Jay will be at the parade. I don't know if you'll be on. We'll be doing the 7 p.m. live stream for our midweek show. I don't know if JD will be on. I mean, you're probably having a really good time at the parade, so we'll see. We'll see. TBD on TBD, JD. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, we'll have a 7 p.m. Live show Wednesday night. Probably talking about some of the speeches that will be held at that parade. Maybe we'll get some insight on who will be returning next year based on those speeches. I'll be watching for Chris Jones's his speech because we know Kelsey and Andy will be back. So we're gonna be keeping a watchful eye on Sneed and Chris Jones's speeches if they have any on Wednesday. But that'll do it for us for the night. Hope everyone has a good night. Love you guys. Love you, JD.
Love you too, Marcus.
Cheers,
Love
brother.
Love you all.
Take it easy, everybody.
Take it. Cheers. How about those Chiefs? Yes, sir. Super Bowl champs again, baby.
Back to back, baby.
Back to back.
Three-peat time. Yeah. Take it easy, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.